10.14 was tough for most players, right in the middle of summer too. All that heat combined with the frustrating meta did not make a good recipe for TFT. However, Chef Riot is here to correct their ingredients, and patch 10.15, well, you know, hopefully patch things up a bit.
Patch.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another ProGuides Teamfight Tactics video. Today we're going to be looking into patch 10.15, going through the interesting changes Riot made, and making some predictions on how our experts think the meta is going to shake out. We know this video is late, but the official patch notes took a while to release this time. Instead of dropping our usual video quality, we decided to delay its release. Again, we're sorry for that. Release schedule should continue on Wednesday and Sunday going forward. Patch 10.15 is similar to 10.13, a patch of small changes. However, unlike 10.13, it is mostly about taking many changes made in previous patches back. Riot admitted overbuffing a few units, not thinking of how their combined might would propel certain comps forward too much, instead of just the right amount. In their defense, there is no small change in TFT. Even the smallest percent alteration might trigger a meta shift. As usual, we'll be talking about changes and balances to traits, champion changes, the new galaxy being introduced, item changes, predictions. Make sure to stay tuned until the end to get to see what's going to be awesome in the 10.15 meta. Keep in mind that predictions made in this video are exactly that, they're predictions. They're subject to change, and we will definitely keep you guys updated in our mid-patch update. Feel free to share any comments below, giving us your feedback, especially if you have something new to add or you disagree with what we predicted. We will be happy to read them. If anything is pulled from the original PBE changes or added in, you can find that info in the comments as well about what ended up not making it to the live servers. Before we dive in, I just want to let you guys know that we have a Discord community and a new subreddit that is growing really fast. We have you to thank for that, and we want to continue building our community and helping you be a part of it, so make sure you check the link in the description below. Trait changes. Very little changed here, as the main culprits for the situation in 10.14 were champions. As such, we only have Celestial getting nerfed by a small amount, since the trait is still tough to splash in at 20%, and instead, it only ended up buffing Protectors and Dark Stars who play the trait for free anyway. And that's it for trait changes. Short, huh? Wait till you see what's next. Champion buffs and nerfs. Moving on to champion changes, there are quite a few of those, mostly to champions who have not seen the spotlight in a while. You might see some forgotten faces show up. 1 costs. Jarvan got another nerf, thankfully. His attack speed bonus has been driven down quite a bit across the board, nerfing him as a frontliner as he will not ult as often, and comps that rely on him will become weaker. Graves got his blind duration back. That means he's back as a really solid early game start, blinding those pesky infiltrators in our games. 2 costs. Darius is being pushed even more, getting a bit tankier and ulting even more frequently. He's on track to become one of the tankiest 2-cost units, even more so than tanks. Rakan is overperforming, getting too much value without items, so his HP gets a hit a slight bit. Lucian gets a big buff, with the aim being for him to be the magic damage option in Cybers, at least until Echo. This will help Cybers even more with item diversity, and Lucian is often the one getting replaced for Echo anyway. 3 costs. 3 costs see a few changes, and the first out of the gate is Ashe. No, we're not doing this in alphabetical order, we promise. As Shojin Ashe is becoming stronger and stronger in the meta, she is getting a small mana nerf to delay that Shojin state with its 3-second stun every 3 auto attacks. Master Yi is getting some buffs, which is rather dangerous as he's been returning to the meta here and there. Overall, he becomes a lot tankier, with large numbers added to his armor and MR. Nico is getting a nerf to her consecutive ults. It takes her the same time to ult the first time, but she will need 10 extra mana for the rest. Vayne is getting some of her AD back, which is good since the combination of Cyber's nerfs and her nerfs had thrown her in the gutter. She should be a viable mid-game option now. 4 costs. A few expected changes in the 4-cost division, with Jhin being toned down a bit, adding even more 4s to his percentages. I think the devs are having a laugh at our expense at this point. Jinx gets a small buff, getting her attack speed after transforming back, which is fine, and we'll see in the predictions section how that can affect the meta. Victor gets a fairly significant buff, even if it's only 10 mana. This makes him even better with mana items like Blue Buff or the Star Guardian charm. Soraka was the hidden OP. Her healing has been instrumental into gaining more time for Vanguard Mystics or other comps that play her to wear down the opponents. It was quite scary in Sorcerer comps as well, with all the extra spell power. As such, she's getting toned down a little bit, but it shouldn't affect her strength. 5 costs. It's only the new kids, except poor Urgot, who get hit this patch. Starting with Janna, who is quite similar to Ashe. She has a really high impact impact ultimate, which is amazing with Shojin on top of Star Guardians if there are any. The nerf aims to delay that first ultimate a little bit, making it less unfair. Xerath gets some much deserved nerfs, but retains most of his unparalleled strength. He's a bit squishier, and his first ultimate is also delayed. The second part especially might even be a buff, as more units will have died, and even his first bullets will have extra spell power added to them. That's it with champion changes. Essentially, many buffs were taken back, and some extra buffs and nerfs were handed out to units that were too strong or too weak. The meta is going to shift next patch, so stay tuned for the predictions as we have some juicy ones today. New Galaxy. The new galaxy is Plunder Planet. We're saying goodbye to Nicoverse, which is sad as it was awesome. Plunder Planet is essentially a permanent space pirate buff with way less chances of proccing. Champions will drop coins with a strict random chance across the game, making sure no player is too unlucky compared to another. Implications of this galaxy include inflated economy, so expect higher level people earlier. Killing champions is more important than ever, so boards of good players will be stronger even when on a lose streak, since you want the chance to kill units. As a result, lose streaks might be tougher, and if you get enough gold, maybe not even that worth it compared to killing units and win streaking. Space pirates will double dip and make you a wealthy player indeed. Item changes. There were no item changes this patch, so let's move on to predictions. Champion predictions. Let's take it from the top. From 1-star units, Jarvan will not be the only early game option anymore. Unlike Graves and Darius, Vanguards and Brawlers will make a return over the 10.14 only Protector starts. In the 2-cost area, besides Darius, Protectors will still do well, like Shin and Rakan. Lucian's changes make him a much more attractive option, even as an item carrier without cybernetics. You could even have Lucian carry sorcerer items quite effectively now, especially blue buff, as he will only need one auto attack to ult. Speaking of cybers, Vayne is back in the game, so she is not an insta-skip anymore. Make sure you use her again. It might seem like 5 extra AD is too little, but since she only scales off AD and base AD scales with star level, that small buff should make her more interesting, yet not the only option for a cyber carry. We think that Ashe with Shojin, along with a few Chrono units, will be a really interesting mid-game, and you can transition to snipers or dark stars later, even with the nerf. Make sure to keep using Jhin, as the nerfs only really hit his 1-star form. When 2-starred, he will still rock worlds. As for Janna and Xerath, they are still playable, with Janna being a bit less plug-and-play, gearing more towards Star Guardians now, or she often wouldn't be able to ult. As for unchanged champions, Shaco should still be really strong. Don't give up on the clown. He is a solid early option, but with Vanguards becoming more popular, his itemization might change, or his early effectiveness will. Comp predictions. With Jarvan's nerf, Unlimited Blade Works might suffer quite a bit. We do urge you to try it, but the need for a 3-star Jarvan is huge now. You can't survive on a 2-star one anymore. The attack speed will just not be enough. It might be time to move back to the 6 BladeMaster version of the comp, making it less hyper-roll. With Jhin being a bit nerfed and Vayne not as broken anymore like in 10.13, Riven might be able to make a bit of a comeback as an alternative sorcerer comp. QSS will probably be a must to try to dodge some of the hits coming her way as well instead of Ionic Spark. Jinx comp should see a resurgence, but not really because of the buffs, but because Darkstar is not an auto win anymore and more options are available. Ezreal's nerf is still too big, and he was one of the main culprits for Jinx's dominance. Cybernetics should do quite well, as their early and mid game got shored up a bit this patch, with Vayne getting some power back and Lucian getting stronger. Try to get that Infiltrator Aurelia for maximum value. The comp is especially strong into Darkstars, diving onto their back line before they can charge up, so it's a good option for this patch. Astro Snipers are almost untouched, since Jhin wasn't the only way for the comp to win. Teemo is still strong, and the Snipers might be the top comp next patch, as it's the most unaffected by the nerfs overall, comparatively to its previous strength. Last but not least, Star Guardians are really strong this patch, but their frontline and CC will suffer a bit in comparison to before. As such, the need to itemize Nico is even more imperative. As for their cousins, Sorcerers, Victor's buff makes him a decent target for itemization, especially with mana items and death cap. Make sure to try it out, as the positioning for many comps right now puts them in a line, like Snipers and Darkstars, and Victor should get some really juicy ults as a result. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let us know which comp you think will dominate in 10.15. If you want to get better at TFT, visit ProGuides.com, where you can find challenger coaches who will help you reach your dream rank. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.